Taurus. Hey Taurus, welcome to your weekly reading that's also timeless. It's Terra Firma Thursdays, and every Thursday I read for you, Taurus. I've got some beautiful Palo Santo incense beneath you there. You got a little smoke there, a little bit. We're just clearing the energy. We're going to do 3 cards of general energy that I had just previously cleared using a new deck for me. This is the Baroque Tarot. It's beautiful gold foil. Lovely. I'm not super into gold usually, but the main reason I got the deck is these lovely kind of watercolor art. I really like it. It's very dreamlike. It's very vivid, and it's got some. It's very much familiar if you're into like the Rider-Waite-Smith traditional stuff. So you can interpret them in a very traditional way, but there's different angles. There's some really lovely nuance to it. So this is my new favorite take on a Rider-Waite for sure to date. Now, we'll be clarifying this energy with the Hermetic Tarot and then diving back into the Baroque once more for the potential outcome. All right, so without any further ado, let's get right into it. We're kicking it off with the 9 of Swords. So we've got some up in our head energy here. We've got the 6 of Swords. We're getting past that, aren't we? Okay. And we have the Page of Swords. Wow, guys. Okay, we've got a lot of sword energy going on today, Taurus. Underlying energy is the Hanged Man. Okay. It's an energy, the energy of the Hanged Man is kind of interesting. It can be interpreted as a sense of feeling trapped, but it's also an energy of seeing things from a different point of view and kind of gaining enlightenment from a different point of view. And so I think what's going on here is this energy, this nightmare energy. This is like overthinking things, being up in your head, fear, things like that. Literally nightmare energy. You can see the person sitting up in their bed, basically distressed. We're moving from that into the 6 of Swords, which is an energy of moving away from turbulence into calmer waters. Basically, it's traveling away from conflict, okay? And then the Page of Swords here. The Page of Swords, to me, is like healthy boundary setting. I think you're establishing some kind of boundary in a circumstance where you're not going to let people take advantage anymore. So it's an establishment of a healthy boundary. This is sort of the security guard of all the pages. This one reminds me of a security guard, kind of a defensive posture, defending a territory. So I think of him as the security guard of the tarot, basically. And I think that basically what that's saying is you're moving into an energy of establishing boundaries and not letting people cross boundaries with you, Taurus. Many of you have overgiven a lot. It's time to knock that off. I'm a Taurus sun. Ask me how I know. Certainly I've never done such a thing. I've always had healthy boundaries. I've never let somebody violate my boundaries. No, far from it. That would be impossible to conceive of. All right, guys. Forgive me. All right, let's go. 9 of Swords. What does Taurus need to know about the 9 of Swords? What does Taurus need to know about the 9 of Swords? We're going to do one more shuffle here. All right. Regarding the 9 of Swords, we have the 2 of Wands, Lord of Dominion. Excuse me. We have Temperance, Daughters of the Reconcilers. This is Sagittarius energy. This is an energy that's a call to bring balance into your life. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, Lord of the Root of the Powers of the Earth, New Opportunity. By the way, the Ace of Pentacles, when I was shuffling the deck for you, Taurus, I had the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck when I picked it up out of the box to start readings. And then as I was shuffling it, tried to jump out a few times. So there definitely is an opportunity for you coming in. I think it's just going to require you to move away from whatever this is, right? The 2 of Wands is kind of a card of like knowing what you want and kind of having an idea of how to get to it. So there's a new inspiration. I think you're going to have more of a clear direction on how to proceed or what that even is. For those of you who aren't really sure what you want, there's something that's going to become a little more clear. It's going to come through the process of balancing out your emotions and inspiration with your logic and reason. Basically, temperance is a call to bring balance to your life. In order to move forward, you have to balance out that rationale with the inspiration and the emotion, okay? And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Like I said, this is a new opportunity. Ace of Pentacles is my favorite ace in the tarot because it isn't just careers and finance and material opportunities beginning. It can speak to the relationship side of things as well, and it leads ultimately to the Ten of Pentacles, which is like that big legacy energy, you know. So it's very, very positive. Underlying energy is the Queen of Cups, Queen of the Thrones of Water. So I don't know. Check your chart. I don't know what your chart is. I happen to be a Cancer rising, and so Queen of Cups is kind of a representative card of Cancer, as well. But it's also just a call to nurturing emotional maturity. But it's a balance, right? We talked about this a minute ago about overgiving and all that stuff. You have a tendency to be this way. And sometimes it needs to be tempered by temperance. Tempered by temperance. Wow, he's so eloquent. Let's get some clarity on the Six of Swords for you, Taurus. Tempered by temperance. Allow myself to introduce myself. Okay, Six of Swords for Taurus. Let's clarify the Six of Swords. All right, we're having a good time. It's good. All right, Six of Swords. Two more shuffles for you, Taurus. What does Taurus need to know about the Six of Swords? And let's get into it right now. Okay, we have the Six of Cups, Lord of Pleasure. Pleasure. Yeah, Lord of Pleasure. I mean, this is a little bit away from the Rider-Waite idea, but I'm picking up on the idea that basically it's a call to when you're moving away from this conflict, there's a call to treat yourself a little bit, a call to nurture yourself a little bit. Okay? Enjoy some things. We have the Knight of Wands, Lord of the Flame and Lightning. Knight of Wands is an interesting card for sure. Kind of the White Knight of the Tarot. Very much an energy that can be very inspired, very motivated, but that motivation can be fleeting. What in the world? Who does a YouTube video with their drawer open? Anyway, sorry about that. I don't even know if you could see that, but my drawer was open. Oh, sweet Lord. Speaking of being easily distracted, was I just saying that? I think I was. That's what I was about to get to, was very inspired, very motivated, but can be distracted by other things that inspire and motivate. That's why this can also be referred to as sort of the F-boy of the tarot as well, because when it, in regards to like somebody approaching you with something romantic, it's like, it's attraction and fire, but easy come, easy go. You know what I mean? So, I don't know what this means yet. I kind of feel like that's more to do with an energy of yours that you need to temper. And then we have the Devil, Lord of the Gates of Matter. The Devil card, this is Capricorn's energy, but this is also really a card of prioritizing the material world over the spiritual world in a lot of ways. Okay. In other words, if you're chasing, you're chasing after this Ace of Pentacles opportunity with a really fiery passion, you may be neglecting other aspects of your life, the spiritual aspects of your life, or the internal world, because you're fixated on pursuing the Benjamins, right? The dollars. That's sweet, sweet cash. And also focused on, again, the treat yourself thing, the Lord of Pleasure, the Six of Cups. It's like maybe the nurturing turns into indulgence, turns into a vice, right? It could become, I mean, literal cups. It's like, if you use something like alcohol as an example, it's like a little wine is treat yourself. A bottle of wine is pretty indulgent, and then if you start doing that every day, then you got a problem. You know what I mean? So as you come out of this Nine of Swords anxiety energy, as you're moving away from it and you find yourself in a position where you are recouping and recovering, excuse me. There's a call to just be mindful of that. Don't overindulge. Know when the right time to apply discipline is and everything. Again, temperance, balance, right? We talked about that earlier. Six of Wands is on the bottom, Lord of Victory. The Six of Wands is literally a card of victory. It's like emerging, it's like returning from battle victorious, and exalted and lifted up, really. So like very, very positive card. Six of Wands is wonderful. We love us some Six of Wands. And that is, interestingly, we have the Six of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Six of Wands. That's 666. And in traditional Christian lore, we know that that's associated with the beast, right? The devil. I don't know, just an observation. But by the way, those of you who find that number to be scary, let me briefly explain something about 666. It is the number of man, as you've been told in Bible lore. Basically 666 is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. It's carbon 14. Forgive me, I know I'm butchering this. It's carbon 14, but basically it's the building blocks of life in the material world. So something to bear in mind. You don't need to be scared of the number. So what I'm getting, though, overall from all of that rambling is that, again, matter, as you move away from this stressful situation and focus on this new thing, it's going to be very materially focused. Hence, Lord of the Gates of Matter. You're going to be very focused on the material world, on the Pentacles, and on the pleasure, and on the victory, on the status of the victory even. So, interesting. Right, wrong, or indifferent. You know, I do feel there probably is a call to approach with temperance, again, approach with some balance in your life. Make sure that you're not throwing things way out of balance by overreacting to some radical change. We got to flow with changes, but we don't want to be pushing things excessively most of the time. I mean, there's a time for action, there's a time for stillness, right? You'll know, Taurus, use your discretion. And again, don't let the passions get the best of you, I suppose, and how you act in the world. Okay, we are clarifying the Page of Swords, which we did discuss being about healthy boundaries and such. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of enjoying the fruits of your labor and being satisfied and being happy and content. It can be oftentimes associated with singleness, but not necessarily. It just means your individual experience is that where you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. Okay, Lord of Material Gain. Love that. There's nothing wrong with that, Taurus. All right, we got the Four of Cups, Lord of Blended Pleasure. Four of Cups is sort of a card of a little bit of discontentment and a little bit of stagnancy. There may be, again, blended pleasure. It's like you have 4 cups, but you want more cups. Yeah. So it's like counting your blessings, but more with the context of like what I don't have versus what I do. And then we have the Five of Swords, Lord of Defeat. Five of Swords is literally an energy of like arguments leading to separations, leading to a timeout. If you have a big blowout with somebody, you're going to spend some time not speaking, perhaps, right? That can happen very, very easily when we're in that Page of Swords energy and like actually defending our boundaries and stuff. Be very, very careful about your words when you're establishing those boundaries and enforcing those boundaries with others. Unless they need to get out of your life. Sometimes they just need to get out of your life and get out of the way. Or not even get out of the way, but stay out of places they don't belong in your life. Again, boundaries, right? What I'm seeing here, though, with these two cards, the Four of Cups and the Five of Swords, is sort of like as you're establishing those boundaries with people and this new opportunity is coming in, there's going to be some conflict with some of these people who are probably pushing the boundaries with you frequently. And as you start to say no and you start to block that, they get upset. A blowout may happen, and you may have a period of time where you're feeling kind of, I don't know, maybe almost a little bit regretful about the fact that you've had these blowouts. But it's juxtaposed to this Nine of Pentacles where you are enjoying yourself. So I think ultimately you're going to get past it. You're going to recognize the fact that they weren't actually true blue friends, you know what I mean? They weren't really your friends. They were people who were taking advantage of you. And those are hard truths to accept. Again, not that I'd know anything about it, but you, you know, because I've certainly never overgiven to anybody ever. But yeah, everybody wants to share in the good times. You know, everybody wants to hang out when you're buying. You know what I mean, Taurus? There's a song, Eric Clapton, I don't know if it's his or if he covered it, but nobody loves you when you're down and out. You know, and then when you get back on your feet again, everybody wants to be your long lost friend. But nobody loves you when you're down and out. Okay, Taurus, bear that in mind. I got some chills when I said that. There's some energy behind that for sure. Underlying this section of the read is the Emperor. Taurus, this is where you need to be. This is Aries energy, but this is governed by Mars. Mars is the god of war. It's the warring planet. This means I am manifesting what I want, and I am not letting things stand in the way. And by standing in the way, this is, again, emphasizing a boundary. You don't have to be crazy and greedy and violent with going after something you want, but don't sacrifice your needs for the sake of other people who don't appreciate it. I think you're going to recognize who these people are, and you're just cutting them out. They're gone. It's time. And you know, this came up, water readings had a lot of this kind of energy too, so there's something going on maybe within the time period right now, but cutting out the inauthenticity. We just went through the full moon in Capricorn, and there's a lot of energy within that about being your authentic self and exercising your authenticity and your sovereignty. So, dear Taurus, I think it's just time. Basically, what we're getting here is that you have new opportunities available to you, but in order for them to be accomplished, you got to have some serious conversations with people that are taking advantage of you. And you don't even need to have conversations, really. You can literally just move away from it. You can literally just walk away from things. You know, especially we have in the culture, this is something that had come up in a podcast I was listening to, but they were talking about the concept of ghosting. And the context of, if this isn't even like a relationship, if it's a dating thing and you go on a date and it doesn't work out and you just don't talk to the person afterwards, is there really something wrong with that? It's debatable, I suppose, but if you have somebody in your life that is literally leeching your energy, like sucking on you, basically sucking the life force out of you, taking your money, whatever it is, right? And not even being grateful for it, you don't really owe them you don't even owe them an explanation. You're free to just leave. You're free to just leave. You really don't owe them anything. And that's one of the weird kind of truths about this reality is, like, ultimately we don't owe each other anything. Most of us have very good natures and are like to help each other out. We like to, in general, in humanity, we like to help each other out, and we like to, of course, help our loved ones and our friends and everything else. But that's a preference, and that's something we choose to do at the end of the day. You really don't have to. I'm not saying don't ever help anybody. I guess I'm kind of rambling now, but somebody out there needs to understand this fact that you don't owe everyone an explanation for your actions. You're not obligated to them, especially people who take advantage. Like, just kick them out. Potential outcome. We're starting it off with the Nine of Pentacles. So we have the Nine of Pentacles twice. Again, this is enjoying the fruits of your labor. This is a cultivation of enjoying what you've worked for. And it sits right over the Ace of Pentacles. So from the Ace to the Nine is brilliant. That is a lovely jump. We love that. So I'm very happy to see that, dear Taurus. What else we got? I'll do 2 more shuffles for you, Taurus. All right. Nine of Pentacles. We have the Two of Swords. Yeah, you're going to have to there's an obstacle or an impasse here that you have to get around. You have to be creative about it. Again, this is areas of the mind and of the communication. Sword energy is all about thoughts and communication. So you're going to have to get creative, perhaps, getting around these obstacles. It does sit right over the Devil card here. So be mindful of how you're going about this transition, moving into the new opportunities, and cutting people out of your life and getting away, like moving away from people that are really difficult to you. You may require some creative thought. Think outside the box. If you feel like you can't move for some reason away, like even if it's a physical motion, like I can't get out of my job because XYZ, well, you're going to have to think outside the box. Spend some time. Don't say you can't. To quote Joe Dirt, don't let no in your heart. Don't let no in your heart, because there's always a way. There's always a way. Speak to spirit, speak to source, speak to God. Ask for the idea, ask for the way forward. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles here. This is a contemplative energy of like, well, where have I come from? Where am I going? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Was it all worth it? You're going to be looking back at this and wondering if it's all worth it. I think this kind of ties into that Four of Cups energy that we looked at a moment ago, where there's sort of a contemplation with a little bit of discontentment within it. I think you're going to get past that, though, because we do have the Nine of Pentacles here, which is very happy. Yes, it's worth it. Yes, establishing healthy boundaries in your life is worth it. Yes, cutting toxic people out of your life is worth it. It always is. It doesn't mean that it's painless. It can hurt because we care. You're Taurians. I understand. We're ruled by Venus, which is a planet of love, and we care about people. Sometimes too much. And it can be very painful. Okay? So, but yes, it's worth it. The Hierophant underlies the deck here. This is your card, Taurus, by the way. The Hierophant is your card. This is a card of tradition. Traditions, teachers, mentors, things like that. I basically feel like underlying here is like one of the solutions to you finding your creative way out is maybe seeking help from a respective professional. If you have a specific idea in mind, like, well, I want to go here, how do I get here? Maybe ask somebody that's doing what it is you want to be doing. Look for a course, look for a class, look for a mentor in that particular region. If you decide to set down all of your energy, that you've been giving to others and actually focus on yourself, you will have the energy to take the class, to seek the mentor, to pursue the things that you want to pursue, rather than trying to take care of others that, frankly, probably don't deserve it, at least in this case. So that's a little bit blunt. That's a little bit harsh. I know. But Taurus, some of you needed to hear that. If this resonated, and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would appreciate it greatly. Leave a like if you liked it, and a comment even if you are so emboldened. You don't owe me anything, like I said, but if you feel like it, I'd appreciate it because it helps me keep going. Gives me the motivation to keep going. And every Thursday for you, Taurus, Terra Firma Thursdays. Until next week, best of luck with this energy. Stand up for yourself. And I will see you next Thursday. Take care.